At a very early age, I somehow became fascinated with the camera. My mom's early divorce. My stepfather was this really strict guy, old school kind of guy, and I was kind of like shy and inhibited as a kid, but I really felt this fascination with nature, and I kind of saw the camera as like this magic box that connected the inner and the outer world. Such a magical thing when you're in a dark room and you see an image come up in this chemicals. I got hired to do still photographs on the movie called Training Day. I've done 6 films with Denzel, but this is my first one. And he had very strict rules about a still photographer on the movie set. So the producers called me and said, "Oh, hey, here are Denzel's rules about still photographers. No photographing during the actual filming, only during rehearsals, and try to stay out of his eye line." But I was always on the, kind of on pushing the edge of the envelope, and eventually he let me in. A lot of photography is about being tenacious and just kind of knowing, when to let go or when to push things. Photographing, whether it's on a movie set or in a home, there's so much around you in the elements. They'd be filming in these big sound stages, and if you go to the doorway of the sound stage, it would be dark inside and not direct sunlight, but kind of ambient, soft light coming in, and it's great portrait lighting. In the summer of 2003, I went to see a friend of mine in Los Angeles, and I walked into his office, and he looked at me and goes, "Hey, Bob, why are you limping?" Got many MRIs and blood tests and all sorts of things, and they still couldn't find anything out. I heard that this other doctor named Dr. Fogel had seen my case. He was a UCLA doctor, neurologist, and he'd seen my case, and he was interested in me. So I went and met with him, and then we started, and then finally, after about 3 years, he gave me a diagnosis, the diagnosis of APBD. Oh, I like that ramp. That's a good ramp.
Right.
Nice and long and even. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. What's your name?
Hussein.
Hussein? Where are you from originally?
Turkey.
Turkey? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Teşekkür ederim.
What's your name?
Robert. My name is Robert.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Through the years, the course of having this disease, or from 2003 when I started limping, still at the top of the game, and still working quite a bit, and working for big producers like Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay on the Transformers, and I was still in demand. And then at a certain point in time, as this progressed and I was more bound to a wheelchair, even though I feel that my photography is as good as, if not better than ever, Hollywood stopped calling me. It's kind of a bummer and pissed the hell out of me, but but you can't, you only have so much time here and so much energy to give to things, so I don't really want to dwell on the negative. I just kind of want to use that to propel me into something new. I had always long been fascinated or compelled or intrigued by the actual real people in the world. When I'd be on a movie set, I'd kind of look around the neighborhood, if we were filming in a neighborhood, and interact with and photograph people who were watching us. There's this endless supply of just stories and goodness that, life is basically, the world is in essentially a good place, just like the negative stuff. So I just basically began with one story, but I made a hindsight piece, which was a photograph and then a little text, a paragraph or two below it. That's how it came about, and I think it's become a lifelong project now. As a photographer and an artist, that's what you want to do. I think, is to, do something that your work has a positive effect. I think when you believe in something or you see it in a certain way, it comes off to other people as that way too. Well, it's interesting. I just found that everyone has a story. I mean, everyone. So a lot of these encounters, you know, they're just organic conversations, and I'll jot down notes when I think, oh, this is a cool piece. I'll jot down notes, and then it's like later on, it's kind of like, you know, like freeze-dried coffee. You pour water on it, and it comes back to life.
Yeah. Trying to write this piece is like trying to encompass the ocean with a spoon.
When you reach a certain point in your life, you can't really go back and undo it. You have to be who you are. And so I kind of lived my way into this, and it's how it is. When I look through the lens, whether, you know, whoever it is, you know, male, female, old or young, I kind of like fall in love. Like you almost, you know how you're with a person and all of a sudden like you kind of like see them for who they are in this kind of magical way. Kind of like a process of loving someone, you know, when I see them through the lens. And it's a beautiful thing, meeting people and kind of talking and bringing out the best of the situation. I've been able to really see and behold the world in an incredible way, and, you know, connect with people and respect people. So that's the thing I impart about it. It's not just a profession or a job or pushing the button. It's really a way of life. It's really nice, beautiful. Come on, let's get in the center here a little more. Beautiful. Meeting Deborah for the first time is similar to when I met Judith Cryer a few years ago. It is a powerful kindred connection of being in a small group of people on the planet who share a rare disease, APBD, short for adult polyglucosan body disease, that progressively, inexorably impairs our mobility, balance, and other bodily functions. I sense in Deborah, though, something that I know as well, fear of the unknown and fear of losing what for most of our lives until recently was good health and normal mobility, balance, and other taken for granted bodily functions. Deborah walks with a cane, which is where I was just a few years ago. Aside from the unspoken kinship of APBD, we share a common and personal life history in the Upper East Side neighborhood of Yorkville. If you ask me to name qualities most apparent in Deborah, I'd say courage, wisdom, and grace.
I really don't know how it is that Robert decided to send his pictures to me and then his book. Part of their success, I think, is in the personality of the maker. And part of them is a natural understanding of the way that words and pictures come together. Most photographers are not given the opportunity. They're told that they are not welcome to add words to their pictures. It's kind of a violation of the general rule.
Yes.
There are very few artists that can handle the pen as well as the camera. This is one that can.
And what's great about Robert is that he's living in the present. He is interacting with everyone, and he is honoring those moments. And it's those small moments that really make up the quality of our life. And what's great about Robert is that he engages people and he opens our eyes and our hearts.
Each one of these pictures, in a certain sense, make me cry. Really a little bit, and make me laugh, and make me remember what's important in this short life that we live.
This show means a lot to me. The Kindsight is a work I love doing. I mean, I've worked with a lot of big celebrities in the Hollywood film industry, but this is something where I've found that everybody is a star. Everybody has a story. Thank you so much. Thank you. Big group hug. Big group hug, yeah.
Lovely up here, you and I have no fear. Stardust must be love, must be love, must be love, must be love, must be love.
Thanks for being you.
Ditto.